Brattleboro is just an incredibly beautiful space. For me, coming from New York City and being in this kind of city of concrete on a regular basis, going up to Brattleboro, it's just kind of magical up there. And when you're thinking about questions of how we respect our environment and how we take care of resources, as a pocket of what we do, it's hard not to get engaged in that conversation when you're in such a beautiful environment.
The graduate program absolutely accepts that people are complex and whole and have lives and have children and have dogs and have work and things outside of school. So finding a way to blend those together and accept and welcome that fullness and that richness is absolutely unique.
At the Marlboro MBA, the residency weekends were just such an incredible experience. Because of the remote nature of our program, technology played a big role in how we learned as well. And it gave us access to so many professionals across the industry that we might not have had if we were limited to having people be there in the physical space. Getting to be so in-depth in your classes definitely puts you in the mindset to be just thinking about these sustainability values throughout the weekend. But on top of that, just my classmates made the experience absolutely tremendous.
I'll post those up on the Google Drive folder for the project.
With living in different areas, it's hard to do that sometimes. For most of us, it's something about social change or social justice or being part of and giving back to the community. Should we just be in touch over email between now and our next class? And I think it's one of the things that really unifies a Marlboro education is this thought about yourself and others.
If it's okay with y'all, I'll transition to, okay, what's the strategy assignment look like and what am I specifically looking for? This should be fun. I know that everybody in my class is a bit of a maverick, or they wouldn't be in the program. They're smart, capable, inspired mavericks that can make change in the world. I'm happy to admit that consistently, I've seen them make use of their degree. So you just see that progression from their first day in classes, developing their skills, developing their ideas, hatching a plan in the capstone process, and then hitting the ground running, usually already making great strides.
So this is their activity section. So that's a pretty high rate of utilization, but how much churn? 18 offenders. The teaching part, the really gratifying part, is to see that the different approaches are helping people access the information and then to see them gain competence and gain comfort level with it. But do you have any thoughts on it?
Learning from the faculty here has just been amazing. Unlike most schools where faculty are just primarily teachers, most of our faculty are still doing the work that they're teaching us about.
What I've found is I'm so engaged in the work up in the legislature that I can't help but bring some of that work into the classroom. But I think here you have people who are looking at nonprofit management, they're looking at socially responsible business, they're looking at ways to impact the world. And so bring the lens of policymaking and government policymaking in particular is useful as a way for them to figure out how do they want to impact the world? How is it that they show up and impact the world?
For me, understanding the ins and outs of the hiring.
I think for those who are really interested in kind of the new economy that gets talked about sometimes in these circles and really changing everything from how we think about resource use to how we think about people systems to how we think about our communities and our neighborhoods, but is really interested in the business world and wants to do those things through business. I think this is the perfect space for it because there was no shallowness to what we did at Marlboro. We dove into a lot of the deeper questions underneath the business processes that you might just stay at that shallow level at another program, whereas at Marlboro I really felt we got to get into the in-depth philosophical kind of hearts and minds questions behind what we were doing. And so I think for anyone who's really invested in being in this space, I think it's really the perfect place to kind of practice those values and really gain a deep understanding of why those values matter and how to put them into practice.